Hey everybody, Joy here. Do you remember this? Do you remember my Blues for Jeffrey quilt? That turned out so nice, so nice, so easy to make. I don't know that I'm even going to like this new fall version of it. I like this one so much. But in the fall, I love fall colors, so I'm sure it'll turn out fine. I've kind of left you hanging. Today is actually October 26, 2021. You have had several weeks to get some fabric together if you want to make this or something like it. You may want to watch my last video. I'll put a link here or here. It talked a lot about the different sizes. You could cut your squares. Here's a square right here. Every square is a triangle and a triangle. Triangle, 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 triangle. Every square is two triangles except for where there's a solid square. Every once in a while, there's a solid. You can see that. But everywhere else, it's a triangle, a triangle, a triangle, a triangle, a triangle, a triangle. So easy. How many triangles? I don't know. You can count them. Here they are in front of you. In that other video that I just referred to. You can count the different ones there. It really can't be answered because everyone can be different. Somebody might want the star to be all brown, and somebody might want the outside ring to be all yellow, and somebody might want 10 different colors in the star and one color in the ring. I don't know how to tell you how much fabric, and I don't know how to tell you how many layer cakes. I bought 4 layer cakes. In browns, greens, yellows, oranges. I showed them to you in my last video. I will probably use part of each of those. I am not going to make mine this big, although this is a wonderful size. It's a wonderful size to put a beautiful quilt pattern on. But my next one's going to be smaller. This one is wider than my hanger up there. And it really goes farther than my 2 windows, and I really don't like them that wide to hang up here. I want it to be smaller. So I will probably do the version where you take 2 10-inch squares on top of each other, and you cut 4 half-square triangles out of it. That's probably the version I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to start mine. I started today. I'm going to take this camera off that tripod, and I'm going to take you in my other room, and I'm going to show you what I did to start. And then maybe you'll want to do the same thing. Stay with me. I brought you in here to show you what I did to begin my project for my Carpenter's wheel out of fall layer cakes. Here's the 4 layer cakes I told you about. You can see they're all just fall colors. Isn't it pretty? You can see here in the middle kind of what they will look like made up into a quilt. Really nice. And I don't know what ones I'm going to use. I didn't on the blue one. I started out with 1 layer cake, and then I added some of my own fabric to it, and I added part of another layer cake. I don't know what I'm going to do. I just do as I go along. And over here is my yardage that I bought. They did not have layer cakes in a solid color that I like. They probably had beige, they probably had white, I don't know. But Avondra and I decided, she picked it actually, this really pretty soft yellow. And since they didn't have layer cakes in it, we had to buy yardage. This is my kitty cat stash I'm working on. So just ignore all that. The kitty cats are on hold for a while because we're getting ready to leave town. So I decided I'd take this project for the fall quilt. I decided I would take it with me on our trip to Oklahoma City. Okay, so what I did, I pressed it. It was in half already. I folded it in half again. I ironed it. Then I came over here and I cut 10-inch squares. I cut 10-inch squares because layer cakes are 10-inch squares. There are 40 to 42 10-inch squares in one of those 1 layer cake. Let me see how many this says it has. How many do you have? 42. 42. So I cut 48 of the yellow. They're just 10-inch squares. Because I'm going to put one of these with one of these, and I'm going to sew my triangles. Now that's what I'm going to do first. I don't know what colors I'm going to put where. I have no idea. That's what I did the first time. I just sewed all my triangles and I got down on the floor and I played with them. This is what I used to cut them out. If you don't have a Quilter Select ruler, I highly suggest you buy one. It is the best quality. And I have, you look over there, I have a whole wall full of rulers. I have 2 drawers over here by my refrigerator full of rulers. This is the best ruler. Quilters Select. You have to have it right side up. But this one is what I use to cut my 10 by 10. 10 by 10. 10 by 10-inch squares. I just lined them up. I lined them up like that. And I cut and I cut. Now actually, this is more than 10 inches from here to here. So I would cut 10 inches this way, then I would turn it and I would cut a little piece. That's what's in this trash can here. Here's all the slivers I cut off of the edges. Am I worried about wasting that fabric? No, doesn't bother me in the least. Okay, so this is my beginning. I do not know exactly what I'm going to do from here, but whatever it is, it's going to be in the RV when we're in Oklahoma City. All right, so I hope that helps you at least know maybe where to start, because where you're going to start is you're going to make half square triangles. I'm over here at my desktop computer. I wanted to show you that if you're new at quilting, if you don't know these famous quilting ladies out there, I'm going to show you how easy it is to find them, okay? So here you can see, I hope, do I need to move that over a little bit? How's that look? All you can see is my big fat body in front of it. Well, let me see, I gotta have my keyboard. See my post-it notes? I'm a post-it note-aholic. I love them. I put them on everything. Alright, so here we are. We're just at our computer. So I'm going to go to YouTube because I already know the names of the people I'm looking for. Okay? I am going to put in here Jordan Fabrics. Up here in the search box, Jordan Fabrics. Okay? I'm going to hit enter. Now look here. You could just go on and on and on. But look here. I've only scrolled down a little ways and look what's here. Do you see this? There it is right there. Donna's Easy Carpenter's Wheel Quilt. Free pattern. There it is right there, my friends. Now I don't know that if she did her half square triangles like I do mine there. You can watch it. There's lots of different versions. She probably did. But there you can see the star in the middle with 2 wheels, and I think that's the way I'm going to do it this time. So you don't need me to say, we need a pattern, we need you to show you what to do. Right here, let Donna Jordan at Jordan Fabrics show you what to do. Oh my goodness, you guys want to learn how to quilt? These 2 ladies alone, Donna Jordan and Jenny Doan. I'll show you Jenny in a minute. You can learn from the easiest, teeny tiniest baby quilt to the most fancy quilt. And these people just make thousands of quilts, I swear. This is a redo. I decided I better not show live videos or YouTube's going to put me in stealing other people's YouTube videos jail or something. So I just want to show you up close. This is Jordan Fabrics, 530,000 subscribers. This one video has had 323,000 views. Can you even believe it? It's called Donna's Easy Carpenter's Wheel Quilt. This is the one I told you about in my first video. And do you see what it says next to it? Free pattern. So you can see she has all the colors she's going to use on her quilt. 10-inch squares, and she has them separated by color. And then she's made little tags for them over there. And on those little tags it says how many of each square she needs to cut. So if you watch this, you will see how to be organized. Now I want to make sure this doesn't play, because somehow they know if you do that out there in the world. Here you can see her half square triangle. See, it's just like mine in my quilt. Half purple, half white. She's cutting the dog ears off of it. There's a little better picture of it. And so she's just going to make a whole bunch of those. And she tells you specifically how to do it with great instructions. She gives you a colored pattern for free. I don't want to play it. Yeah, and here you can see all of her different half square triangles lined up. And some of them don't have a white background. Mine will all have a white background. And so she's got 1/4 of the pattern in her hand, and she's going to show you how she's going to build this quilt. This will help you so much. And so then here you can see how the quilt is going together like mine in there on the wall. It looks just like it, except her colors are different. Here it is again. And then she always, there's the whole quilt. She shows you how she sews it together, then she shows you how to quilt it. She has a long arm, and she picks the thread, and she picks the pattern, then she quilts it. I don't like the border she put on it, my personal opinion. And so there the quilt is. See that border that she put on the sides? I don't like that. To me, it doesn't go with it, but hey, to each his own. And so she has quilted that with her long arm. And as usual, you can't ever see anything on quilting. Okay, so I'm just telling you, there's so much. If you go to the channel's name, Jordan Fabrics, click on the name, then click on videos. Then all her videos will come up. All of her videos don't come up that other way. They all come up when you click on just that channel. Like if you clicked on just Joy Bernhardt, all of my videos would come up. Or if you just clicked on Shine, all my Shine videos, which aren't very many. But you can see there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos. Oh my goodness, I don't know when this lady sleeps. All right, now the other one's same thing or worse, or better. We're going to look for Missouri Star Quilt Company. Now, if you go to their website, that's not what it's called. It's called Missouri Quilt Co. But if you're going to Jordan, if you're going to YouTube to look for Jenny Doan, you're going to look for Missouri Star Quilt Company. And look, I just typed Missouri. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways to get to it right there at the top. I'm telling you. This is a big company, well known. Click on Missouri Star Quilt Company, and this is where I ordered my layer cakes, Missouri Star Quilt Company. So go to their videos, and you will see you have the same million choices of how to make a quilt. She does very good tutorials on every quilt that she makes. You can buy the pattern, but if you watch the YouTube video, you don't need the pattern. Very good videos. Lots of fun. Now here's the 3 girls. Now this is called Triple Play with Jenny, Natalie, and Misty. So it's Jenny, her daughter Natalie, and her daughter-in-law Misty. And they all 3 make the same quilt block. They start with a quilt block, like we would start with the half square triangle. Then they each do something with it without the others knowing what they're doing. And so then they show you what each of them came up with in the video. It's extremely well done. Let's look and see what they did here. So see, all 3 girls made a version. This is somebody's version back here. I don't know whose version. Let me see if I can find another version. There's another version of it. One of the girls made that version. We're looking for Carpenter's wheel or Carpenter's star. So what you can do, You go to their videos. You go over here. Remember, you go to Missouri Star Quilt Company, click on videos, then come over here to this magnifying glass. That's the search symbol. And type in Carpenter's Wheel. Carpenter's Wheel. It's also called Carpenter's Star. I don't know why it has so many names. The title of this is Make an Easy Carpenter Star Quilt with Jenny Doan. That's what this one's called, and it's in Missouri Star Quilt Company YouTube channel. Missouri Star Quilt Company's YouTube channel. All right? Now look here. There it is. See it behind her? The triangle. This is exactly what I have out there on my wall. This is it. And so you can watch it here. Now, she has a pattern. Sometimes she gives it to you free. Sometimes she says you have to buy it. But if you watch this video, that is the pattern. You won't have to buy the pattern. I can't imagine why you would. So here again, Missouri Star Quilt Company has hundreds of videos. If you're wanting to learn to be a quilter, there's just so many. It goes on and on and on and on. Oh my goodness, can you even believe it? Okay, so somebody said, who are those two women? So that's the two women. I just wanted to show you that and how easy it is to find them. And so you don't need me to give you a pattern. You can watch both of them and you'll know more than I do. Hey everybody, I'm here, I'm back. This is a day later than what you just saw. And I thought, you know what, this video needs an ending. It doesn't have an ending. So I thought, well, I'll just start. I just got up here. And I thought, well, I'm going to start and see what I want to do. So let me remind you of something real quick, okay? Remember my thing, my chart, my diagram, my whatever it was I made up. I'll post it here in a minute so you can take a picture of it if you want to. But this is all the ways that I discovered that you can make half square triangles. Now I was told by one of you that this way right here would never work because all of these edges in here are bias edges. The straight grain is out here. Straight, 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 and everything in here would be bias. Well, evidently nobody told Jenny Doan that because Jenny Doan cuts it that way and she made a quilt that way, at least one. I don't know if she's made many, but I think if you spray starch that, you could sew it very easily. So what you're going to have to do is open up your beautiful layer cakes. So I think I'm going to start with this one. And I think I'm going to start with the golds because I think I want my center one. Now this is this moment. 5 minutes from now I may completely change my mind. You understand that, right? I'm going to start with maybe the yellows and the oranges, and I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of half square triangles, and I think I'm going to make my center star the yellow and gold color. Then I think that I will go around that with maybe the greens and make a green wheel. And then I think I will go around that and I will make a brown wheel. You don't have to have layer cakes, my friends. You don't have to have them. Go find some more yardage in your stash and cut some 10-inch triangles. You can make this whole quilt out of 2 colors. Light and a medium or a dark. It can be a 2-color quilt. It doesn't have to be a zillion colors like I'm getting ready to do. So let's open this pretty gold one. You know I love batiks. It doesn't look like there's 42 here, but there are. Now I know a lot of you would save this thing, so just close your eyes if you can't stand the thought of somebody throwing something away because you got the wrong girl here for that. I throw things. Somebody said, how do you keep your house so clean? I throw things away. I throw things away and I put things away. That's how. So here, can you see just this as the star in the middle? I can. I think it'd be really pretty. And then, if I decide I want some more to go with it, I've got all of these from this layer cake. Isn't it just awesome? And these are all 4 layer cakes are batiks. They're batiks. Now see, I've separated them and now they're all falling apart. They will do that. But these are the ones I'm going to do. So my lightning fast mind just decided to click into gear. And I figured out something, so I'm going to show you what I just figured out. I'm telling you, every project I do, I learn something that I didn't know before or I didn't think about before. I've learned all kinds of things doing the kitty quilt, let me tell you. So what I did was, I got my picture of what I want to make. Then I decided, let's count how many half square triangles are in the star, because I'm making the star yellow. Yellow gold. My star is going to be these colors. So far, this could change. But let me tell you what I decided. Hold on. So I decided to mark the half square triangles that are in the star. So count them. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 12 half square triangles in that star, and you can see that the one Donna Jordan did just has 2 colors in it. Mine's going to have a whole bunch of colors in it. And mine is going to be darks and mediums and light yellows mixed up of some denomination, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. So, I have decided that if I take a 10-inch square and I cut it into 8 half square triangles, I'm going to have mostly one color in this quilt, so that's going to be a dumb way to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it the way the lady told me it wouldn't work, and I am going to cut 4 half square triangles. Now 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that means I would have 3 colors. Now this is using layer cakes to make this. If you don't use layer cakes, hey, use smaller squares. You don't have to start out with a 10-inch square. Start out with just the amount of square that you need this to be, and you can make 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 squares, and put 12 colors in there. You understand? So that's what I'm thinking now is I'm going to do it with the 4s, where you get 4 out of a 10-inch square. Because if I get 8 out of a 10-inch square, you might as well just use a 2-color quilt there with the light and the dark. Now this is something that I need to point out. You won't always have a light and a dark. So I won't always be using a light yellow and a batik. I'll be using 2 batiks together, okay? So I hope that makes sense. So the center is 2 batiks. So definitely, if you made the large quilt, which I may change my mind to do in about another 30 seconds, you'd have a whole lot more choices on the colors you could use to make this with. So as I continue to play, let me show you what I'm doing now. Now you know I broke apart my layer cake. I have determined that it takes 4 half square triangles to make the center. And it's going to be print on print. So what I'm doing is I'm making play-like half square triangles. See, this is 2 10-inch squares. This is 2 10-inch squares. And so I'm just folding one into a triangle and putting it on top of another one. And I'm thinking, oh, look at that, look at that. Could that be the center? Or, let's take another combination here. See, playing. I just love puzzles, you know. And to me, this is just a big puzzle. Playing with puzzles. Do I need to make some clothes? Now look at those 2 together. You put those 2 together and they look like the same piece, even though it's 2 different fabrics. See, so this is a good idea, don't you think? Let's find something that shows up next to that, because that is not it. Ooh, here's a pretty one. Let's try this one next to it and see what it looks like. Okay, now see, there's some contrast duty. And these are the ones where you have to have two prints, not the solid background in a print. So that's really wild. And so then if I'm thinking of putting these in the quilt together, let's hold them up together and see how they play with each other. How do they play together? If I was going to, see, I could just right now put this together here on the table and make the center. I could just go ahead and make that center. Here's the planes. Put the plane, and just build the center of this. Let me do it and I'll be back. So here's my little guide that I'm going by here. And you'll need it. I look at it and I look at it and I look at it and I look at it. I don't lay down like this usually. So I have got the bottom half of this star laid out here, see? So these are the colors I will be using. Now I can look at this and I can see if I'm going to like these colors together or hate these colors together. I can see right here that these two are too much alike. So I need to turn this around or do something else with it. Now I could play like this, doing this for hours and hours. I did with the turquoise quilt. I put this here and that there and moved this and moved that, and I had it laying on my floor, on my carpet in the other room for weeks. And I kept changing and moving and turning. And then Jeffrey, my friend, would say, I can tell that over here you need to turn this one the other way, and just worked with it and worked with it and worked with it until I had something I liked. So remember, this is the bottom. You would have the same thing going that direction up there. So I'm thinking maybe I want the yellows in the center here, and I want the more orangey gold ones here on the outside. So how can you see here? See my backgrounds? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my light backgrounds here. And this will be 2 batiks together, 2 batiks together, 2 batiks together. No. It'll be 2 batiks, 2 batiks, and then the same on the other half. So is this kind of coming together for you on how do you do that? I don't really know, to tell you the truth. Let's move these oranges around. And I tell you, you will get these going the wrong way. You have to lay it out on the floor and study it for a while. Sometimes it takes days. Okay, so now we don't have those 2 oranges together. So now we can see if we wanted the oranges, and I think I will. If I want the oranges to be on the outside and the yellows to be on the inside, or the yellows are like more of a sunburst coming out, so maybe I want the yellows on the outside and the oranges on the inside. You see? So you just keep playing for hours and hours and hours. And I've already opened my other batik. So I'm playing with 2 batiks here now. So let's get another color of this beige, of this, if we're going to do the yellows on the innards. See, these all come, once you unfold them from their pretty packaging, there's 2. There's usually 2 of each one. And we'll get this yellower one because these 2 kind of look alike. But those two are way too much alike. So let's put this over here. And let's put this here. There you go. There you go. See? Now this one's looking really dark in the camera to me now. It's not looking very yellow, it's looking more brown. So we'll call the centers the little rust colors in the yellows and the outsides the more orangey ones. For now. I may change this 100 times, you guys. So I'm going to play with that today. I'm just going to let you go for right now because I don't want this video to be 2 hours long. But when I get back from our trip, we're going to be gone 4, 5, 6 days, we never know. when I get back from my trip, or if I get any of this made in the RV, I'll do another video and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right? I'll be back when I'm back.